Well, hey guys, we're here in the kitchen today, and we're at the end of the garden. The last of the potatoes are coming in, so I have a few that need to be eaten, and I'm going to make some salsa with it. Joe loves salsa, don't you, honey?
Yeah, I love it.
He likes to put it on everything, I think.
Yeah.
If you had it, you'd be putting it on your bologna sandwich, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
He's having lunch, bologna and cheese with sliced fresh jalapeno peppers out of the garden and tomato with mustard.
It's good.
And Doritos. So that's his lunch. So I'm going to get started on the salsa, and it's just a really easy recipe, and you just put everything in a food processor and blend it up till you get to the consistency that you want. So the ingredients in it, I'll show you. The recipe calls for 4 medium tomatoes. This one is probably a medium, and I've just added some small ones in there to make it, but I'm going to make 2 batches. And it calls for onion, jalapenos, 2 medium, or 1 medium per recipe, and cilantro, and I got some fresh cilantro in this bag, but I also have some I got at the grocery store. I may use that in this salsa. And you need some lime for lime juice and some sea salt. So I'm going to cut the tomatoes in half and put them in the food processor, and I'm going to cut the onions up and all this stuff and put it in the food processor, and I will be back. I forgot to tell you, you use 3 cloves of garlic in the recipe too, so I'm just going to give these a rough chop. There's a piece of the skin I didn't get off. And go ahead and put those in the food processor. You're enjoying those chips, aren't you, hon?
Mm-hmm. They're good.
And it calls for 1 tablespoon of lime juice. So yeah, there's 1 tablespoon, and I probably have enough for the next batch. And we need a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Let's see if I can get a 1/4 teaspoon out of here. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to blend all of that up. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to pulse it a little bit and then taste it for salt to see if I need to add any more. And taste it for salt. I think it needs just a little bit more. I'm going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt in there and taste it again. You better get a clean spoon.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be hot.
The recipe said to take seeds out of the jalapeno, but Joe and I decided to leave them in there because he likes it hot. It's spicy. Well, we've decided not to make a second batch because this made quite a bit itself. And if I was canning it, I would go ahead and make the second batch, but I'm not going to be canning today. So Joe finally tasted it and he likes it, and he thought it still needed a little bit more salt, so I put a little bit more in there. So now I'm going to just put it in this jar. I think it's going to make about 2 pints, maybe more. Now it's a little lighter in color because I used some yellow tomatoes in with the red. Yeah, there's the second pint. And the third. For my lunch, I got just a little bit of tuna salad left that I made this week, so I'm going to make half of a tuna salad sandwich. And that will be my lunch. And this tuna salad is just delicious. And I used 2 cans of tuna, and I put mayonnaise and mustard and a boiled egg, 2 boiled eggs in it, and then salt and pepper and garlic salt and onion salt. And the trick, the secret ingredient, is my 14-day pickles. I've got the video on how I made those last year, so I had plenty this year and I didn't make any more, but the 14-day pickles are absolutely wonderful in chicken salad or tuna salad, egg salad, anything like that. So y'all have to try it. I'll link the video. Well, it's a couple of days later since I made the salsa, and I've let the flavors kind of meld together in the refrigerator. And Joe ate a bunch of it while we're waiting on our Sunday lunch to get ready. Crock pot, chicken, and dumplings. But he said he felt like it still needed something to boost the flavor. So the recipe didn't call for it, but I added some cumin powder, and that helped a lot. And I felt like it needed some more garlic, so I put garlic powder in it and a little more salt, and I think that's helped it. So it's good now. So if I make that recipe again, I would definitely add cumin to it. There is the gnat. These tomatoes bring in the gnats. So here we go. That helped a lot. That's good now. That cumin gives it more of a smoky flavor. And of course you could roast the tomatoes and the peppers before you put them in the blender. And that would probably help with the flavor too, but add the cumin. Another load of branches. This ought to do us for a while, shouldn't it, honey?
No, it won't do for a while.
Well, we still got to clean out that lower fence line, finish that out. But up here on this part, I think it's in pretty good shape now. When I'd mow down this side of the trees, the limbs would just slap me in the face. So we cut them to where they'd be high enough where I could get under them. with the mower. And then trimmed out some old pear trees, Bradford pears trying to grow up in between the green giants. So we got to get rid of this load now. After our workout, we decided to come to Black Olive for a late lunch. And Joe has ordered spaghetti with meatballs, and I've got spicy bow-tie chicken. So we're pretty hungry after that workout, aren't we, honey? The food has arrived, and Joe's got his spaghetti. And I've got my spicy bow tie chicken. Hey guys, I'm in the living room, and my hair, I just stuck it up because I got so sweaty back here trying to put something together. And if you saw one of my last videos, I was talking about trying to find a reclining chair that had a massage built into it, and I couldn't find any locally at the furniture stores. And my brother had bought one off of Amazon that he really liked, so I started searching on Amazon. And I was really nervous about buying one because I'm like, it's a big piece of furniture, and if I don't like it, how hard is it going to be to return it? So I finally bit the bullet, and it came today, and Teddy came over and helped me put it together. And he and Joe are downstairs in the den downstairs right now. It's cooler down there. I had to take the old recliner out and carry it to the den downstairs. And so I'll show you the new recliner. So here it is, my new recliner. And I've had it for about a week now, and it came in about a week after I ordered it and had to put it together, but it was easy. All you had to do was slide the back down into some metal channels, and the side pieces, the arms, same thing. They had some metal channels that you just slid it down in, and it's nice and secure. And it's a remote, so it will use the remote to recline all the way back. And it also has a lift function on it, so if you needed help with getting up, it will just lift you right out of the chair. And it has a built-in massage, and it's just right under that head cushion. You feel it, and the lumbar, and then your legs right in this area, and then down on the footrest, 4 different places that you feel the massage. And the massage is just a vibrating massage, and it has different modes and different intensities that you can set. And you can set it on automatic, and it will run through the whole 4 points, or you can select just a certain area that you want to massage. And it has a heat function, and it works really well. It just takes maybe 30 seconds to heat up, but you really feel the heat on it, and I like that about it too. Now this is a firm seat. It's not real cushiony, but it's comfortable, and I like that. But you can see the cup holders that it has. It does not rock or swivel like some of them on Amazon has, but in this space that I'm using it, it's kind of a tight fit back here, so I didn't really want it to rock or swivel. And another feature it has is on the side, it has 2 USB ports. So I've got my earbuds plugged in there to keep them charged. And, you know, for $329, I'm pretty well pleased with that chair. So the fabric is kind of a brushed, I would call it a brushed gabardine. And it's kind of a bluish gray color. And I like that about it. But you can see it's a really soft fabric. And the seat has some give in it, but not a whole lot. It's not a real plush recliner. And then it has this separate remote for the recline and then to come back up or lift. So I'll demonstrate it to you. So this is where I sit in the corner and do my reading. I'm in front of the window, and I have a table lamp here. And so I get up in the mornings and sit here and say my prayer time and read the Bible and any other reading I want to do. But I'm going to recline back. and that's as far as it goes. So it's a nice position to be in if you want to take a nap. And then the remote control here is the power and the heat. And I don't know if you can hear the motor or the massage going. It doesn't bother me, but it is a little loud. You think it's loud, honey?
Not really.
Okay, he says not really. But it's on the automatic position. And it vibrates and it pauses for a minute. And when it pauses, it makes a growling sound. I don't know if you can hear it. When I first heard that, I thought there was a loud car coming up the street or something. Vroom. That's what it sounds like. But anyway, the massage feels really nice. I actually even used it last night because I had a sleepless night, couldn't get comfortable, and I got up about 2 o'clock and came in here and got on the chair and ran the massage and to relax my muscles to help me go back to sleep. But it didn't help. Not last night anyway. So here I'm going to come back up to seating position, and then I'm going to go on up to the lift position. Now it's back to seating, and now it's going to bring me on up. You know, I don't need this function. Joe has trouble sometimes getting up. So if he sat in this chair, it would be a help to him to get up. So it almost stands you completely up. And all I have to do is a little lift and I'm up. So I'll take it back down. But I got this on Amazon, and you know, I'm pretty pleased with it overall. So I'll put the link to it in the description box below this video in case any of you are interested. There was a lot of styles to choose from, but I wanted a more tailored look, so that's why I chose this one. So hope that helps you all, and I'm glad I got it. Oh, and by the way, if you saw my last video talking about my trip to Boone and where I got a parking ticket, I appealed that ticket, and they were so gracious and dismissed my ticket and closed it out with nothing owed. So thank you, Boone, for understanding and dismissing that ticket for me. Here he goes. Well, earlier today he was trying to start the Mustang and it wouldn't start. I came home from my prayer group and he was trying to put the battery charger on it. So I helped him with that. And then, oh, what happened there? I don't know. Then he locked the keys inside of it. He only has one key. But then he found the key that fits the trunk. He opened it, so I climbed through the trunk up to the front and unlocked the door. And it just started, so he's wanting to drive it up and down the driveway. Let me make sure he's got the parking brake off. Get your parking brake. Right, he's got the parking brake off. Let's see how he does. He's just going to put it back at the garage, which I think is a good thing to do. I don't trust him out here in it.
Okay, young lady, did you have your driver's license in your possession?
No, but I got them.
Where are they?
I'm just driving it to the garage.
It's not good enough.
Well, here I go. Catch me if you can.
Well, brakes. No, you can just, yeah, go ahead, let it ease up about a foot. You can feel it. Hold it, leave it run.
It was operator error, or did I just do a better job?
You just did a better job.
Thank you. And guys, I want to talk to you about something that's really hard, and I'll try to get through it without tearing up. But, you know, as we go through life, there's different stages of life that we have to go through. And, back in the 90s is when I first got my first horse. And she was a Palomino mare named Gracie for short. Her registered name is Skip's Gold Valentine. She was born on Valentine's Day. And she's from a bloodline of Skipper W, quarter horse. And she was beautiful. And she was 6 years old when I got her in 1996. And my mother passed away in May of 2012, and then 3 months later, Gracie broke her leg, and it was bad, and we had to put her down. So she's buried in the backfield back there. But I had bred her, and the 2 that I've got now are out of her. And the Palomino mare I have now, her name is Skipper. And her registered name is I Skip to Cash. And she's out of the Skipper W bloodline, of course, from her mother. And also from a famous racehorse whose name was Cash. So I bred her and had Skipper, and she was foaled in 1999. And then 4 years later, I bred her again to a four-time world champion in halter called Wincredible. The Wincredible was the sire, and that's how I got Nico. And I had bred Gracie to Wincredible for a horse to sell. And I had her advertised and had a man from Tampa, Florida wanting him really bad. And said he was starting a horse ranch to cater to underprivileged children, to teach them horsemanship and how to work with horses. And that was the bloodline that he was wanting. And so I tried to work with him and be patient, but he kept putting me off and saying his money was coming from investors overseas, and because of the Patriot Act, it was slowing down the process. So he never did come through. And I ended up putting Nico with a local trainer to take him to AQHA shows, and he showed twice. And those 2 shows, he got a first one time and a second one time. And then he had a horrible accident at the trainer's barn and cut his leg really bad. So after that ended his show career because of the bad cut on his leg. So I just gelded him and brought him home. And he's been here ever since. So now Nico is 21 years old and Skipper is 25. So they have been like my children, and I just love them. But here's the hard part. Joe and I have talked about it, and because of his condition, and I've had to take on extra responsibility around the house, that we felt like it was best to rehome the horses, to take some load off of my responsibilities. It's very hard to do, but I know it has to be done. So I've been praying and praying and praying that the Lord would help me find a great home for the 2, for them to live out the rest of their lives with someone who would love them and cherish them and take care of them. And then the added pressure this summer is getting our hayfields cut. The person that was doing it had equipment trouble and couldn't get to it this year. So trying to find someone else to come and cut and bale our hay was a tough issue. And so I talked to several people, but no one was really giving me any definite answer whether they would come and cut it or not. And one Thursday morning, a couple weeks ago, I had my quiet time before Joe got up and saying my prayers, and the weight of it all just hit me. And I just cried out to the Lord and told him I really needed him to come through and come through now and help me find someone that will get this hayfield cut and find a good home for the horses. Whew. That was such a sweet time in prayer, but a heart-wrenching time in prayer. And I had made a commitment too, because of the situation that our country is in right now, that not to say this braggingly, but I felt like the Lord was leading me to fast, because the scripture says some things don't happen unless we fast and pray. And our country is in such bad shape. I felt like I really needed to fast and pray for our country. So I chose 3 Fridays, the last 3 Fridays in August. I did my fast. And so it was after that fast and that Thursday morning I was crying out to the Lord. Well, 30 minutes after I finished praying, I get a text from one guy that I was talking to that he's going to call me that day about cutting the hay. So he called, and he came out the next morning and looked over the fields and said, yes, he'll cut it. And so while he was here looking over the fields, I asked if he knew of anyone that would like to have a couple of horses. And he said, quarter horses? And I said, yes. And he said, me. And I said, really? And he said, yes. He said, I've always wanted a horse. And his favorite memories, childhood memories, was going to his grandparents' farm in Big Stone Gap, Virginia, where I was born. And they had a big farm, and he loved to go there and help them work on the farm. And they had horses, and he's wanted a horse. So I took him down to show him my horses. Well, he fell in love with Skipper, and I believe Skipper fell in love with him. He was just hugging on her, and she was just so sweet to him. And he said, "You're the very horse I've been praying for a long time." And so anyway, there is a possibility that he could be the right owner and right home for my 2 horses. So I had to go check out his farm just to make sure they would have a good place. And this person raises cattle, and he is so sweet to his cattle, and he talks to them just like I talk to my horses. And he's got a very nice place, a lot of pasture for them to have to roam and graze on, and several barns and a creek on the property. And right next door is another couple who have horses, and they've got 5 rescue horses. And I met them, and they're just as sweet as they can be, and love those horses and are taking such good care of them. And so I just had a good feeling about this person, and I just feel like the Lord was in it, and the Lord heard my prayers. So it makes it a little easier to know that they're going to a good home, and they're going to be well taken care of. And I do believe the Lord answered my prayer. Now, it's still going to be hard. He's going to come October the 3rd to load them up and take them back to his place. And that's going to be a hard day, so you all pray for me. So, anyway, that's what's been going on here. And Joe's doing good. He has good days and bad days. He still suffers from weakness. And sometimes he just can't get the words out that he wants to say. But he's doing good. So, thank you, Lord Jesus, for hearing my prayers and answering more than I could have thought or imagined. And the good thing is they're just about 25 minutes away. And I believe I can go visit when I want to. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a good week. I don't know when I'll be posting another video. It's just been kind of busy around here lately, and I've not been videoing a whole lot. But I hope that will change, and I can get back to my weekly schedule, and you can get to see how Joe's doing and what we've been into. You all just be safe, keep walking in the light, and may our Lord bless you richly. See you next time.